be a distraction for the audience, so keep that in mind. We don't want to be reading out the screen. We want to be engaging our audience as much as possible. You will have one microphone up here on stage. Remember that you can pass that between your group members, and you also have a clicker up here, so that can go one slide to the next. Pretty easy to use, pretty good clicker. That's what they have here. Also, if you need to click anything, this works just like your regular laptop would work. So I click on a link or anything within your presentation if you need to. It's all there.
One thing that sometimes happens with Google Presentation or Prezi or YouTube or whatever, sometimes you get a little white box near the top that says you've gone in full screen mode, and then it says allow full screen or don't allow. You want to click the allow, otherwise that white box stays up there your entire presentation, it doesn't go away. And a couple kids haven't clicked it, it's covering up sometimes their words and their looks. So you want to make sure you click that off. A few things about audience. As audience members, like Mr. Nicholson said, they can see you. So we want to make sure that you're not distracted. So if you have a device, if you have note cards, if you have anything in your hands, we're going to ask you to just take it and put it under your seat right now. You shouldn't be studying. I know you're nervous, you want to kind of be prepared, but it can be really frustrating for students who are out here and are nervous, and they look and they see that you're not paying any attention, or if you're whispering to your neighbor, or they see your face lit up by your device. And sometimes they lose their train of thought. It's kind of difficult. So we want to ask that you just show respect for the work that they've done, just like you have done a lot of hard work, and we want you to feel well respected today as well. We have a full class. You guys are one of our bigger classes. I think we have 12 groups going today and 12 going next time. So we have to really keep moving, quickly class. Mr. Michelson and I try to ask one question at the end, maybe two, but we're going to ask that you kind of keep an eye on when it's your turn. You can see the order up on the screen. We have Alyssa and Avani first, followed by Brady, Cassidy, and I gotta go up here. Brady, Cassidy, and Jamie, Isabel, Kirby, and Olivia, Colin, Aditya, and then that's our first four, and hopefully we'll be wrapping up with that right at 1:10. And then at 1:10, we'll start our second group, and then at 1:35, our third group.
Also, we will be streaming these through Google Hangout, and that will be uploaded to YouTube. So we'll try to, I've been tweeting out the links, and we'll get you those links if you want to look back, or even have a parent or a stakeholder take a look at what you did. And I see a few unfamiliar faces in the audience. Thank you to those people who came out, whether you were invited by your students or the students that have just invited you because they think you'll see some good stuff today. We hope that you do.
All right, with that, we will get started. It looks like Alyssa and Avani are up first.
Oh, sure. Hello, my name is Avani. My name is Alyssa.
You can click allow at the top of that screen there as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Avani. My name is Alyssa, and this is our Apathy project. Our project is about conformity in Uganda. The problem is that when people feel the need to fit in, they edit who they are to conform. That is a problem because one of our key values in Uganda students go right outside the classroom and they hold letters that we sometimes forget to be honest. What is conformity? Conformity is defined as socially accepted standards. What is diversity? Diversity is a variety of shapes, forms, and ideals. Now raise your hand if you want to be the red flower. Raise your hand if you want to be the middle flower. Yay, okay. Even though most of you would like to be the middle one, the one that doesn't fit in with the standards, sometimes those who don't fit in can feel alone and sometimes depressed. How can not fitting in affect someone? The idea of not fitting in can affect many things in a person. For example, those who don't fit in may change their appearances. It can also cause them to have a low self-esteem and it can also change their behaviors. When we ask our peers how much you see conformity at schools, 10 to high and 1 to low, 66% of them know 8%. And when we ask if they are dressed or acted a certain way, they accepted over 50% that they have. One of the questions we asked girls in our survey was, what do you think girls need to do to fit in with the event standards? We received many repeating responses. Over 90% of them were related to clothing. Also, some recurring things were body image, for example, hair and makeup. We also asked girls, do you think any physical features can affect a person's relationship and success with others? A response that we were getting a lot of is, yes, it does affect someone, and people can make fun of you for totally normal things, like acne, weight, height, looks, and race. The question we asked guys is, what do you think guys need to do to fit into the event standards? 90% of the responses were about being athletic, playing sports, wearing event clothes, and having a lot of leisure. We also asked guys the same thing we asked girls about their being the physical features on their best. Most responses were yes, and the physical features are restricted in a relationship with others who like to do. What do you think the high schoolers think about this subject? Well, this is what they said. I've learned throughout my life that it doesn't matter what super culture and feel accepted. I think the most important thing to realize is that it doesn't really matter how popular you are or be the latest style trend. When I was in middle school, I pushed myself to be friends with people that were considered popular. I was still having friends with a variety of different people, but not very close that I blocked them off. It didn't do me any good though. For some reason, I didn't want to see these kids are considered nerds who didn't have acceptable social status. I thought that I would be treated differently if I sat with the cooler kids, but it turns out they didn't even care that I was there, and they ignored me the whole time. It's not that they were being mean, but this taught me that you should be yourself, because no one is going to accept what's going on. I think that every teen goes through an identity crisis at some point in their life, and I agree, it's difficult. It's not going to help you at all if you spend your whole life fantasizing of who you could be. Choose friends that you know will accept you for who you are, and if they don't, then be honest. What are the steps to success? Step 1, define yourself. Step 2, see yourself. Step 3, believe yourself. Step 4, accept yourself. Step 5, express yourself. And step 6, be yourself. Imagine every single person you met looks and acts the same way. Well, that's impossible because there are different characteristics. Yes? For our campaign, we made colorful t-shirts, hats, mugs, and a picnic.
You will be
Happy.
truly educated. I can be not nice, original, fun, fullness, expected, needed.
We also had an idea that we could put our slogan in places that teams regularly go to. For example, Starbucks, and we could post things on Instagram. So in the end, our differences and independent characteristics is what makes our society a livable, successful environment. With our different talents, it may be an uncreative place where people dream and find the same thing. Our genetic differences make us stand out in a unique society. So don't try to throw away the precious characteristics that make you stand out in the world you live in. Be yourself and help make Edina way more beautiful. Thank you for listening to our apathy presentation.
Thank you. That was, we don't know what to say. That was very well done. Thank you for starting us off today. I like your, can you tell us what's on each of your shirts?
So we made these shirts, and mine says, "Don't be a robot," and then there's a picture of a robot, and then it says, "Be a unicorn," and then there's a picture of a unicorn, and then that says, "Be different, be you." And then my shirt says, "Using an image is plain and dull, but creating your own is masterpiece."
Grateful. Thank you.
Hello. Hey guys, want to go to Starbucks with me? Jamie, you're such a white girl. Why do you say that? Because you always go to Starbucks and you always wear pants.
Hey, it's not going to stereotype. What if someone stereotyped you?
And that's what brings us to our topic. I am Jamie, this is Brady, this is Cassidy, and we want to talk to you about teen stereotyping. You might be wondering what stereotypes are. Stereotypes are assumptions made with no background knowledge whatsoever. It's kind of like judging a book by its cover.
Before we sent out our survey, we thought that most teenagers have been stereotypically labeled before and have been affected by the label. We thought that most teenagers will think that stereotyping is a problem in them.
The first question we asked was, have you ever been stereotyped? After asking 106 people, 81% said yes, they have stereotyped. That's 86, and only 19% said they haven't been stereotyped. That's only 20 people. As you can see, a majority of the teens have been stereotyped. Looking at our data, we found that some of the most common labels we got were a rich kid, a hippie, a dumb blonde, a smart or nerdy Asian, and another popular one was a tall white girl.
We asked students, have you ever stereotyped someone before? 67 students answered yes, and 39 students answered no. So about 63% of the students have stereotyped someone before.
We also asked students if they were personally offended by stereotypes. 69 people said yes, they were, and only 37 people said they weren't. This shows us that about 2/3 of the people we surveyed were insulted by stereotypes.
We also asked teens in China if they thought stereotyping was a problem. About 70% of the students thought that stereotyping was a problem in Indiana, and 28% said that it was sort of a problem, and less than 2% said that stereotyping was not a problem in Indiana. So therefore, stereotyping is a big problem in Indiana that should be fixed.
Some campaign ideas we thought of are t-shirts, pins and buttons, water bottles, a hashtag, and more. By sharing these products, it's our goal to grab people's attention, and then they will become worthless. Some slogans we thought of that we put on our merchandise is, would you want to be stereotyped? I didn't think so. And stereotypes, no thanks. We put these on everyday items, so when people keep reading them over and over again, they will be embedded into their brain. Our solution to limit the amount of teen stereotyping in Ghana is to create awareness using our campaigns and showing people how others feel when they're labeled.
Thank you for listening to our presentations. With your help, we hope that we can reduce the amount of teen stereotyping in Ghana.
I'm curious what you think Edina would look like if your ideas were to take hold. What is your hypothesis for this campaign?
So what we thought is that with common stereotypes to end Edina would feel more welcome. The malls, the schools, even the communities. It would just feel like everybody belongs and everybody's equal.
Thank you. Photoshop and low self-esteem. Created and presented by Kirby Knight Miller, Lulu Rose, and Isabel Stokes. We were inspired by a video called Dove Evolution. Our health teacher, Mr. Dunn, showed it to us as you may remember. It showed this girl as she underwent makeup, hair, and eventually Photoshop, just to become good enough for a building. So back to the problem. Photoshop is creating an image in girls' minds, which is lowering their self-esteem. To find out if the girls in our community were affected, we took surveys of around 30 to 35 girls. There were two questions that we thought showed the most convincing evidence. Our first question was, has the media ever influenced you? If you look at this paragraph, 80% of girls answered that yes, the media has influenced them. So what exactly does that show us? Well, for starters, that girls in school are fixated too much on how the media says they should be, instead of being who they really are. The next question we thought showed a lot of important evidence was, would you like it if there wasn't Photoshop? This pie graph showed that 75% said yes, but more importantly, no one said no. So none of the girls we asked wanted to have Photoshop around. Now this shows that even though people care about what the media shows us, according to the other graph, they still rather have no Photoshop. And Photoshop is everywhere in the media. You may not know it, but it's in all places that you think. So this leads us to our next step,
How can we spread the word to our target audience? Our target audience is most of the girls in the audience. For our campaign, we created multifaceted approaches. The first approach we took was creating an Instagram account.
The Instagram will be used to spread the word through social media. According to our survey, over half the girls own a social media account. That means an Instagram account will be very effective at the meeting.
Our next approach is to create a t-shirt. The front of our t-shirt design has the organization's name, mirror image, and a peacock feather. We chose a peacock feather as our symbol because it represents confidence and true colors. And those are two things that we feel are important for girls to have in the show. Our last approach was to make a magazine cover. We would call our magazine Mirror Image Magazine because we want the image you see in the mirror, not some photoshopped image. We used authentic images of girls in our grade to create a collage. We also placed our logo in the corner next to the title. This magazine would be Photoshop free, and the models would just be normal girls, being themselves.
Now for our solution. To fix how apathetic magazines and even magazine readers are being, they need to show their target audience that they don't need to be as perfect as those all around the media.
To do this, we use the power of social media. Things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you get the idea. On our accounts, called Mirror Image Magazine, we would share inspirational stories, quotes, and give advice on having a higher self-esteem. By doing this, we're showing people that they should be themselves and not try to be perfect. They'll realize that they are already perfect, just the way they are, and they should and they should be themselves.
Our hypothesis is that girls will become happier in their homes and embrace their beauty. They won't worry as much as how others think they look, or how they want to be. Girls will focus more on what they love to do and what makes them feel happier. And we're going to end on one thing.
Be unique and hashtag be beautiful.
Questions?
I don't have any questions. I think that was really good, girls. Thanks.
Yeah, I think we love your hashtag, that's great.
Hi, my name is Olivia.
And I'm Colin, and we have been working on a campaign that would hopefully achieve an almost fully free Southview. Many people at Southview are against bullying but have bullied others, or have seen bullying but have done nothing about it, and also have not been stood up for their others and being bullied themselves.
Over 30% of Southview kids have been bullied at one time, and we hope to increase that number.
More than 2/3 of people at Southview have seen bullying, but only 1/3 has done anything about it.
1% says that more people will most likely follow you, and it's better like being the only one doing the right thing than
always people who do wrongness.
So how do we get Southview to stand up to bullying? We have come up with 3 key things to remember when facing bullies. One is confidence. Confidence makes the bully realize that he is not better than you, and also that you are willing to stand up for yourself.
The second is no reaction. Bullies are like less likely to pick on people who show no reaction. And if you show reaction or violence, you'll be a bully yourself. You don't want it.
Teamwork brings Southview all together to face the problem of bullying. Bullies will not be able to get away with everything because all of Southview will be working together. Also, it will be much easier to stand up for others and yourself because you will be working as a team.
Our multi-faceted campaign. When people are walking down the hallway, you'll see posters that remind them not to believe and how to stand up for bullying and stuff like that.
T-shirts will also be a big reminder. And T-shirts will also have, they will also inspire kids to take a stand against bullying and say no once they see that other kids are doing it too.
A Twitter feed would like help give advice to people who are being bullied and stuff like that.
So we have come up with a couple of main ideas that we would try to get across in our campaign. It only takes a single person to inspire the world to take a stand. Anyone can be that person.
All it takes is one small action. I mean, you don't have to go and punch the bully or anything like that. All you have to say is like one small word, like stop. You know? Many students are scared of to bullying because they think they'll lose friends and they're like scared to stop to their friends who are bullying. But like they should be worried about what happens if they don't. And a good friend will listen to you and stop.
An action that you do may seem extremely small to you and to others, but to someone else can have a large effect and it can make them really upset.
Prevent yourself from being a bully and be respectful to all.
Effort to fight against bullying at least 3 times every day. It will have a big difference. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, you guys. You said at the end, do something 3 times a day to combat bullying. I think that's interesting. Was that incorporated into your campaign? And if not, how could you incorporate that?
I don't know, like maybe just like say small words, especially like just like I guess it would be part of the thing that people could also like hang up posters and stuff to help them raise awareness. Basically, after this, I guess hopefully be inspired.
That would just be like one of the main steps to face bullying.
Thank you.
We are waiting on the schedule here. Lassa, Will, and Luca are up next, followed by Alice and Shay, and then Grace, Josie, and Ellie for Ella. Caroline, Katie, Sylvia after that, so we're on school groups.
Hi, I'm Will. This is man called Lassa. All right. Please raise your hand if you don't wear a helmet when you bike. Please be honest. Lassa will count how many boards.
Too many.
Correct.
This is not true. Even if you're an experienced biker, a helmet is always a necessary safety precaution. Because if you get into an accident with a bad biker driving with a pedestrian, you're more likely to get a head injury if you're not wearing a helmet.
This is not true because a properly fitting helmet is designed to be comfortable, and if it is uncomfortable, it's more than likely too small or too big.
Would you really prefer your hairstyle over your life? We interviewed bikers, they will get how much of they like, and on 30 things that they did, really, they did it to their groups.
We interviewed bikers and asked them on a scale of 1 to 10 how important it is for you to wear a helmet, and this is the average number. This should be a 10 because
It's important for children to wear helmets, because children are going to be their brain. They are much more vulnerable to accidents because the short members may not see them, so they can get possibly not to die. And also they're going to different levels, so they can easily get over. And if they're damaged early in life, it is going to take
Adults are role models for kids, especially if you're a parent. It is important to demonstrate safety for your children. If a helmet decreases your field of vision, or slides around in your head, or is annoying, you should buy a better helmet.
we propose that on some biking routes, if you're seen with a helmet on, you get a discount on the next bike or bike accessory you purchase from a specific biking company. And also some police officers could carry coupons or give them the bike assistance. Items such as t-shirts should be sold to spread awareness about biking safety.
We predict that companies that participate in giving out coupons to gain profit and customers, and bikers who wear their helmets would be happier, feel safer, and save money. Please remember to wear your helmet and use the listening to our show. Do you have any questions?
You mentioned a lot about bike helmets. I'm wondering if there's anything else that I can do to be a safer biker besides what's on my head.
Well, earlier on your design presentation, we were deciding if we should mention icy roads and like if it's a good idea to go outside and bike in the winter, or when it's not a good idea to bike in the winter.
There are some dangerous roads like Frank Avenue and General, like that is dangerous. We should try to avoid them. Like when you're there, they'll be going at like top speed. And where you're going. I'm wondering if with your coupon program, if you have particular businesses in the community that you think would be good partners. No, not really. We haven't talked to any, but yeah, I know some. Again, I know one right now. I live to go somewhere. I was just wondering what Jerry would be because I would wear my helmet for a free phone any day of the week. Thanks, you guys.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm Shay. This is an authentic picture that we got from Como Zoo. It's the seal habitat, and as you can see, it's not very natural. Sometimes you need to look at life from a different perspective. Your life is different as this boat as you go through the next piece. Okay, this is the other half of the seal exhibit. As you can see, it's not a lot of space for two seals, and it's not exactly like the natural habitat of a Western living. This is another picture we got from Amazon. It's of the giraffe habitat. These are both problems that need to be fixed. And we also like to keep in mind that these are the winter habitats. Here are some statistics from our survey, and not many people really know what's happening. We noticed that only about 17% of the people we surveyed knew about Como Zoo's fundraiser to expand their African habitat. We also found out that only about 40% of people donate to the Como Zoo. We would like to point out that the Como Zoo runs on donations, so we only get about 40% of what other zoos would usually like. And there are other keys too, and here are some responses we got. The animal enclosures don't look very enriching for them. And the spaces they live in are relatively small, and if it were twice as big, it wouldn't be close to how big a space they need. And there are tiny habitats for wildlife animals, and the animals don't seem happy. Yes, please take some time to listen to this. This is the survey we took from one of the visitors at the moment.
So, were you aware that the Como Zoo had the funniest stuff bigger? I wasn't. Do you think the giraffe cages are too small for 3 giraffes? Absolutely. Changes would you like to see? A bigger area for them to roam in. Do you think the indoor habitats should be more natural? Yes. What issues have you noticed? It's kind of dark in here. It seems kind of sad for them. Just not enough space for them to move.
There are 3 giraffes that have less room than 1 zebra. And I would like to ask you, would you rather be the zebra or the giraffe? We would like to help, but for this, we will need you. So it's an advisory competition. And for the last 3 weeks, we would raise money for the African stock exhibit, and we were calling it Every Cent Counts. We would have a jar on all the 6th and 7th grade advisory teachers' desks, and we would collect the money at the end of each week. The advisory with the most money would retreat for the whole advisory, and there would be one advisory per grade. Some other ideas we have would be just to educate people about the problem and to listen with their learners and we also really thinking about teachers. Zoos have always been fun, but once we're open, we realize that zoos aren't all that perfect. To make our experience better and the animals' experience better, we need that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. You mentioned, I'll stay at that for a second. You mentioned that Como Zoo has a plan to make these better. Can you tell us more details about what their plan is?
They were fundraisers to expand their African stock exhibit, so other African
So that there's more space, or?
more space, and there would also be more experience of calling it face to fur, where they're having bars where the animals can come up to the bars and we can have food.
Cool.
I know you guys were super excited and you came and talked to the advisory committee about perhaps doing this, and that's something that if you're interested in, we can continue to talk about. I know that your stakeholder came, so you might want to run to the back and say hi. Someone from the Como Zoo came today. So thank you very much.
Thanks for your patience, folks. We are going to move on right now, at least to Caroline, Katie, and Sid. Russell, Charlie, and Jed will be going next. And Benno and Gabe.
welcome to our Apathy Project. Our project is on empathy quality. My name is Sid. I'm Caroline. I'm Katie. Did you know that 40% of all athletes are women? But women receive only 4% of all sports media products. The overall problem is that girls are not considered equal in sports. They receive only 4% of all sports media coverage and are often disrespected by people saying you feel like a girl or that's a girl's sport. This is caused by innocent ordinary people who decide to put down their friends and disrespect female athletes at the same time. This happens all the time in schools and sports venues. Our prediction from our dad that we collected was that girls are going to say yes to most of our questions concerning sports equality compared to boys. When we asked students whether they thought there was enough media coverage on the girls, 78% of the people felt like there was not enough. Many of you may know about Title IX. It was passed in 1972 and says that you can't be discriminated against based on your gender. It also said that everyone is equal in sports, meaning girls and boys should get equal opportunities in fun. However, girls receive only 28% of the money spent on athletics at typical Division I schools. They also get 1.3 million less chances and opportunities in sports compared to boys. So why are girls not getting equal opportunities and media coverage in sports? The answer is right here in the quote by Rachel Ramsey, captain of the Minnesota Gopher women's hockey team. The men's team attracts more attention, so they get the airtime. This is what we call the endless cycle. It starts with girls getting less media coverage in sports. Then there's little interest in their games, and fewer people go to their games because of the little interest. And because of that, there is less coverage. The cycle just keeps going. We believe that in sports, girls have always been considered weaker, which has led to people thinking that boys' sports are better than girls' sports. When we ask girls if they've ever experienced hurt or witnessed discrimination in sports due to being a girl, 80% of them said that they had. When people say you look like a girl or you feel like a girl, it's automatically thought that girls are bad at sports. Lots of times, girls have less confidence as well because they know that everyone thinks they're not as good as boys. This lack of confidence also leads to less girls participating in sports. When we asked students if there was such thing as a girl in sport, only 59.6% of them said there was no such thing. When people say that's a girl's sport, it's implied that girls aren't as good at sports as boys are, and that girls' sports aren't as efficient. When we asked boys why they had described something as a girly sport, or why they had said you grow like a girl, they said, it's been brainwashed into my mind that girls are worse at sports than boys, or it's just a joke. So when we asked girls how they felt people described their sport as girly, this is what they said. Or the sport that I'm doing makes it feel because I'm a girl, or it made me feel angry because just because I'm a girl doesn't mean you should treat me differently. Overall, girls are not considered equal in sports. They receive only 4% of overall sports coverage, less funding than they are made fun of. All of these show that girls are considered equal to boys in sports. Our proposal is that we are going to raise awareness. We think that if we help people realize that girls' sports are just as interesting as boys' sports, girl athletes will get more media coverage. Our target audience is adults and middle school children because we are not born to be prejudiced, as we find right now. We will raise awareness with t-shirts and create videos and commercials that have girls find about their experiences and how they feel about the against team sports. We also came up with the hashtag I'm an athlete. People have used this hashtag when they posted things on social media, spreading our campaign beyond the community we are in. This is a sample for the t-shirt that will help raise awareness for female athletes. We will distribute this shirt to female sports teams and athletes around the community to raise awareness. This is a prototype storyboard for a commercial that will also help raise awareness and show that girls are athletes and deserve to be treated like that.
A lot of you may say, so what, or I should care. And the answer is you should care, because what if you were in their shoes? Would you want to be treated unfairly just because you want to go chance to play sport that you love?
The answer is an obvious no. So next time you're about to disrespect female athletes, or you decide not to go to one of their games, think about how you would feel if you were them. Athletes who work hard get where they are.
With your help, we predict the results of our campaign will be more media coverage on female sports, less people making fun of female athletes, and every sport being considered a sport worthy of fun.
Girls will be more involved in sports, and there will hopefully be more media coverage on them. Girls will also have more confidence in sports and feel like they have equal opportunities as athletes. The long-term range of this solution will have girls being considered equal in sports. The solution will last because once girls gain equality in sports, they will fight to keep it. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Discrimination is oftentimes motivation to push yourself to be better and to prove those discriminating against you are wrong. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. I think that's an awesome quote to end on, and a very important issue that you're dealing with. So thank you for letting us know about that. All right, we're going to get back to this group and work out our technical issues. Once again, afterwards, we will have Russell's group, Charlie and Jed, Benno and Dave. We've got Avery, Laura, and Liz, and then we'll finish it out with Owen and Matthew. So we're just about on schedule still, so we should have enough time for everybody.
And then Macintosh blows up there, that will make it just to project. All right, so thank you.
So, this group, thank you for your patience for us to sit down and wait for Russell, Charlie, and Jed. Come on up, Jed.
Hello, I am Russell,
I'm Charlie. I'm Jed.
and our apathy project is school lunch nutrition at Southview. Alright. So we asked people if they eat school lunch at Southview, and 60% of people and 40% of people said that they do. So it's affecting a lot of people.
We also asked people if they think school lunch is good or bad, and 70% of people thought it was bad, so that means that people think that school lunch nutrition is bad. So what is in our school lunches? What people think is in pizza is 13 grams of fat, and what really is in pizza is 15 grams of fat. We interviewed 70 people, 50 results.
So people think that there is 18 grams of, 22 grams. People think that there's only 18 grams of sugar and a carton of chocolate milk, but there's actually 22.
People thought on average that there's 232 calories in one serving of fish sticks, but there really is 450 calories. For our campaign, we designed a t-shirt to help make sure kids want better lunch, choose better choices during their lunch.
We also created a poster so that people could know what is in their lunch, and then you can put this next to the wall at the cafeteria so people know what is in their food to make better choices.
So you can choose healthier options at lunch, like bananas and apples, salad, and fruits and vegetables to help you do that. And then there's benefits of eating healthy. You become smarter, you're happier, it improves your mood, makes you do better in school, makes you stronger, it prevents diseases and many other things.
So we think that if we raise awareness for what is in their food, people make better choices and be happier, fitter, and healthier.
And then this is our logo for our campaign, and it is eat well, feel well,
Be well.
Make the right choices for yourself.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm wondering if you talked to anyone down in the lunchroom who works with Chartwell's down there about this issue.
Well, so we think that
Did you talk with any of the people who run the cafeteria down there and who serve food or?
no, we didn't, but many people think that the school is usually bad, and we think that's affecting 40% of people, just like as you saw in the people who eat school.
Okay.
So that we think that there are healthier options at school lunch, they have a salad bar, fruits, bananas, and stuff like that. And there could be more, but yeah, it's on both parts, students
And also students are choosing to have cookies or frozen yogurt instead of healthy options.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ben Larson, and my name is Lee Nicholas, and we did our asking project on effort in school. Our problem is that kids are not putting as much work as they could be into schoolwork. They could be turning in homework on time, and yet they're still just neglecting doing work. Our goal is to help kids to be able to put more effort into school, and also for teachers to know how to give students the proper resources to do well in school. We surveyed students at Southview, and we found out that only 4 or 5 kids are always getting their homework turned in on time, and that's a problem. And that can be easily fixed by just getting the work done and turned in on time. We surveyed students also and found out that they would rather have shorter homework than that they do at the moment. And one of the ways that they can get there is by not being off during class work times, and also just work harder during advisory and not check the whole time. We like this picture because it really shows all the steps in order to create a solution. First, you need to get a plan. That's kind of the blueprint to figuring out your solution. Next, you need to have a strategy on how to carry out the plan. Then, you need to put in the effort. This is the most important step because otherwise you won't reach your goals. Why should you care? People should care because the unemployment rate for people who go to college is under 4%. It is a lot more for people who don't go to college, but if you want to get to college, first you need to put effort in school, even when it's only 7th grade. To spread awareness, we make custom-made t-shirts with our slogan, "Limited effort," and duffel bags that we spread awareness all over the place when we go on trips. Backpacks with most people carry to school, so if you're in school, you can remember to put in more effort. And phone cases, so even when you're on your phone, you know that during school, you need to work hard, and this is fun time to go on your phone. While we surveyed, we also asked if people think they get enough resources to study for tests from teachers, and only 25% of people said that they do. And that's a problem because even though they are studying, they still aren't getting the key resources they need to know for the test. Teachers need to give students better resources to study. This is important because then students can be knowing the material and they can do well on the tests. Students said that they could do better in the classroom by getting rewards for learning, and this could help them learn better and use more effort during school. Thank you. After our presentation, we hope that students and teachers now know how to put more work into school.
Thank you, guys. On your last slide, there you said teachers need to provide better resources for students. I think that's been a frustration with a lot of teachers is we feel that we are providing good resources. What do you mean when you say better resources?
Well, there are many practice tests online, but also all the loose pieces of paper are commonly getting lost, and it's also hard for students if you just get loose leaves. And most of our classes don't have textbooks, and most of them have them. And if we aren't able to get to them, then we are not able to study for our test. If the internet is down, we have the power outage, and we have that test the next day. Yeah, and I also feel comfortable when the teachers give me, they kind of have like Google quizzes up, and then also they take like a paper copy, because then, like Ben said, if the internet is down and having problems, then you can just do the paper copy, which is the exact same thing, and vice versa. If you use the sheet of paper, so yeah, you can just go on Google and it'll be easy to access.
Thanks.
Hello. Hello. Hello, welcome to Selfie. My name is Liz. This is Avery, and that's Laura. Our presentation is on understanding and recognizing learning disabilities. What comes to mind when you think of learning disabilities? Take a moment and really think about it. We interviewed 100 people asking 2 questions. The first question was, what learning disabilities do you know of? 32 people knew of dyslexia, 6 people knew of autism, 24 people knew of ADHD, 7 people knew of OCD, 10 people knew of ADD, 7 people knew Down syndrome, and 11 people mentioned a different kind. What is a learning disability? A learning disability is a condition giving rise to difficulties in acquiring knowledge.
In a nutshell, this means if you have a disability, it can be potentially well.
We created a survey, and the results are as follows. We asked, do you know anyone with a learning disorder? 4 out of 5 people said they knew someone with a learning disorder.
We also asked people, do you have a learning disorder? 1 in 10 people said that they do have a learning disorder.
Why does this matter? The problem here is that learning disabilities are termed as negative adjectives and insults. One of our other questions was, have you heard of the title of a learning disability being misused? About 4 to 5 people said they have, and this is a problem. For example, someone might say, who's a perfectionist, someone might say, I'm so OCD about getting my homework done quickly.
Our final question we asked was, have you ever seen or heard someone being bullied because of a learning disorder? 3 in 5 people said they had. Think about this. 3 in 5 people said they were being bullied because they had something like a learning disorder. That's not good.
Understanding learning disorders. We will be observing some of the more common learning disabilities. For example, dyslexia,
OCD,
ADHD and ADD, Down syndrome,
and autism.
Dyslexia impairs one's ability to read and write. This is an example of what a normal reader may see. This is an example of what someone with dyslexia may see. However, everyone with dyslexia can read differently.
OCD. OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. This is an anxiety disorder which causes one to get into a cycle of anxiety and panic. For example, one may have to watch the news 14 times before they ADD stands for attention deficit disorder. ADHD stands for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which basically means you can be distracted easily.
Down syndrome. Down syndrome happens when a baby has an extra chromosome. It's a genetic disorder. Symptoms include flattened facial features, a shorter neck, a longer tongue, and poor muscle tone. Autism is when a child has a developmental delay in social skills but can have highly effective.
Our solution. Our proposal for a solution would be to sell t-shirts and wristbands to get money for school. Also, we would raise an awareness program.
The money we collect from the fundraiser will go towards the scholarship-funded Ghost Academy, which is a school that teaches kids with learning disabilities. Another part of our multifaceted solution is to reach out to the problem early. We will go out to elementary schools in Edina, and we will talk to kids specifically around 3rd grade and address the problems early. In conclusion, we think that this will lower the rate of bullying due to learning disabilities, and it will be a safer place for anyone with a learning disability or someone who has a hard time doing it. Thank you. Due to time, we're gonna keep moving to our next group. Thank you, ladies. That was great. Every day, the custodians have to deal with this.
Hi, I'm Will Nikolai.
And I'm happy.
For our Apathy project, we did apathy in the lunchroom.
The problem is that at Southfield Middle School, over 50% of students have left trash in the lunchroom.
Combined with over 1,000 students, that's a lot of trash. And they agreed that it affects them.
48% of students said that trash left in the lunchroom affects them.
It's not their job.
And after interviewing the custodians, we realized that trash left in the lunchroom affects many people other than the students. It affects the custodians. Every day, they have to pick up the students' messes in the lunchroom.
It's not their job.
And students know this. 92% of students said that trash left in the lunchroom affects the custodians.
But still, over 50% of them still use trash.
This is a problem in Southfield. For our campaign, we have targeted 3 major parts of students' daily lives: clothes, phones, and social media.
For the phones and clothes, we made a logo to be put on phone cases and stores to remind students to throw their trash in there.
For social media, we will create a Twitter feed that will give students various facts, updates, and other reminders about this lunchroom trash situation at Southfield. This will help remind students to throw away their trash.
We also made a logo that's going to be put on a banner in the lunchroom to remind students what they should do with their lunchroom trash.
Smash it in the trash is what we do with lunchroom trash. Also, we believe that the lunchroom monitors could be stricter when dismissing students from lunch, making sure that all of the trash on the lunchroom tables is gone before letting students leave. Also, we believe that this will be sustainable because it's really just an easy solution, and all the students need to do is pick up their trash. The constant reminders will help students remember, and the banner can just keep being hung in Southfield.
We believe that with the help of the lunchroom monitors, there will be altogether less trash left at the lunchroom at Southfield.
Less trash will lead to more privileges and trust for the student body.
And also more efficient and happy custodians.
Altogether, this will lead to a better Southfield Middle School. In conclusion, students leave their trash and the custodians have to pick it up, even though it's not their job. And the problem is very easily fixed. All you have to do is
pick up your trash. Thank you.
Great, you guys very well rehearsed. We got one more group that we're going to get to here.
I want to say I like the catchy smash your trash, and I like that it's what we do at Coffee because it creates ownership for the student body. So, thank you.
Okay, hello and welcome to our Apathy Project presentation. My name is Josie.
My name's Elle. And I'm Grace. Thanks for listening. Drunk driving is a major problem in our community, and it is crucial that we try and make a difference. Just last year, Ghana Police Department reported 189 DWI arrests alone. That is more than one arrest every other day. This is something we can all change easily with the power of communication, recognition, and just a little empathy. The issue is that people are getting behind the wheel intoxicated and risking not just their own safety, but other and passersby. We sent out a survey to students and teachers throughout Southview and talked to other members of the Ghana to collect some data on their thoughts and experience.
The first question on our survey was asking if they themselves or someone they knew had been a victim of drunk driving. We interviewed just under 100 people, and over 50% of the people either knew someone personally, had heard a story in connection to a victim of the crime, or they themselves were a victim. That is easily at least 50 innocents and experiences of true suffering and pain. This shows that drunk driving can really impact people and their families in an immensely negative ways.
Our second question was asking if anyone knew someone who had been under the influence themselves when they got behind the wheel. And for those who answered yes, also expressed that there had been incidents subsequent to the drive.
Finally, our last question was if people believed that drunk driving was a problem in our community. As you can see, over 70% of the answers were yes. This informs us that the majority of people that were interviewed believe drunk driving is an issue around them.
The following scenario is a very personal tale filled with very real events showing the possible consequences of drunk driving. It all started with a simple business meeting filled with drinks and extensive conversation. After the night was over, the foreman decided to take one of their Range Rovers for a quick spin. Before they knew it, they were speeding down the airplane runway at 105 miles per hour. There was reportedly 2 times the legal limit of alcohol in the driver's system. One drunken mistake has come to haunt him every day of his life since. His family split in two, moved across the country, and built a new life for themselves. Not only did he no longer have his family, but he also lost a friend alongside him that night. He was on house arrest for nearly a year, lost probation for 4, and paid millions. This is something that he and his family can never undo or forget. Sadly enough, stories like these are all too common. We are convinced that by starting small, everyone can do their part and eliminate drunk driving in our community. By being aware that is a problem and encouraging family, friends, neighbors, and classmates to spread the word to be safe, we can truly keep our roads alcohol-free. Even though underage drinking is completely unacceptable and a whole separate issue, which is illegal, it is more important to be aware of the consequences and protect those who make those decisions. It is inevitable that high schoolers and college students, or even people with the legal right to drink, will go out and participate in drinking and partying, and then have to drive to get home. Our ultimate goal is to keep the roads clear of intoxicated drivers. One way to do that is to implement a backup plan prior to any occurrence. That is the #1 way to ensure that our roads, everyone gets home. We think the buddy system is the most effective way to keep our community safe. Before 2 to 10 parties, each person should talk to a friend also attending and work out a plan on how to get home safe. Each person in the alliance will support each other during the time of drinking and prevent each other from making poor decisions while intoxicated. Even though this might seem uncool, we are pretty certain that it's worth salvaging a life. In order to promote our campaign, we made a series of promotional products and ads. To effectively use these to our advantage, we plan on making sure to use all of our connections to the community to spread the word. Once our products are out, people will start stocking and everyone will become interested in our campaign and will manifest our idea for the future of that. We anticipate that once our methods are phased in, DWI arrest rates and tragic incidents will lower in time. Parents will go to sleep at night more in peace with thought that their children will get home and safe. And a new confidence will exude in our community, and everyone will feel safe as they drive down Digital France and down Hotel and off the body. We
Remember, if you're in a desperate situation, there is never any shame in calling friends or family for help. Your and a potential victim's life is more important than your dignity.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch our presentation. We appreciate your attention, and we hope that we made a positive change in your life.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's a very important topic. And we are out of time, so make sure you pick up after yourself. Thank you to everybody who went today. We're excited for Thursday as well.